morning, everyone, and thank you for your time. Thank you to Pratt for this opportunity, and thank you also to Swim for all of the great work you all are doing. My name is Zakiyah, and I am here representing the HOPE program, and we're going to talk a little bit about green infrastructure and workforce development. So the HOPE program has 6 running programs right now, 4 of which are in green workforce development. So the first program that we have is called the Green and Clean HVAC Training Program that focuses on careers in HVAC installation. We also have the Sustainable South Bronx, which focuses on green building maintenance and construction. And then the last 2 programs are in our transitional employment programs. The first being the New York City CoolRoofs Program, which is funded by the Small Businesses Services Department of the city. And what we do is we paint New York City rooftops with a reflective coating to decrease urban heat island effect, to also decrease energy costs and cool the buildings themselves. So that's one project that we do. And that focuses, most folks who go through that program are focused on construction and green construction jobs. And then last but not least, we have the Intervine Program. So Intervine addresses water catchment, urban heat island effect, and environmental health through landscaping and green infrastructure maintenance. So all of our HOPE programs have wraparound services associated with the program. So we take a holistic approach when it comes to career development. So in addition to the training, in addition to case management services and other wraparound services, HOPE offers job search support, incentivizes career retention, and has employer and alumni networks that participants can engage in. So we don't just think of this as like a one-off kind of training program, but we really, really want to help folks to develop their careers, specifically in the green sector, these programs that I'm speaking of. All right, so today we're going to talk more specifically about the Intervine program, which is our landscaping and green infrastructure career pathways program. So Intervine is a 10-week program with a second focus on green techniques in horticulture and construction. Our target demographics are young folks, 18 to 24 years old, and also people who may have a criminal justice involvement background. In this program, we contribute to the sustainability of New York City overall and the Bronx more specifically by creating and maintaining green spaces and green infrastructure. And this is done in 2 ways. The first is through the actual cohort. So during the program, participants are creating and maintaining spaces in the Bronx and in other parts of the city. And then we also have our social enterprise, where completers of the program stay on with special projects that we have going on in the community, doing the same kind of work. And so Intervine provides work experience in the green sector during the training period and for those who stay on and do social enterprise projects. And it also links participants to sustainable career pathways in the green sector. So this is something we're really excited about. So again, as I mentioned earlier, HOPE takes a holistic approach to career development. So during the training phase of Intervine, in addition to receiving industry-specific certifications and hands-on experience, participants take classes in digital literacy, essential skills building, so that might be creating a resume, learning professional communication. We also focus on financial literacy classes as well as work wellness. So we really want people to be healthy fully so that they can start their careers and maintain their careers and their longevity. So one of the sort of core parts of this curriculum is our environmental literacy curriculum. So we lay a firm foundation in environmental literacy within the Intervine program because obviously it kind of underpins all of the work that we're doing. So our environmental literacy curriculum has a focuses on four different parts. So we have environmental justice, we have climate change, we have green infrastructure, and everyday sustainability. So in EJ classes, participants learn about disparities in terms of lack of green space, environmental burdens, food deserts. During climate change classes, they learn about climate change mitigation and adaptation. They learn about GI. They learn about what CSOs are, and how green infrastructure helps to decrease combined sewer overflows, heat island effect, and increase green space and biodiversity. And then everyday sustainability is a lesson on how we in our everyday lives can contribute to sustainability, not just in the workforce and the work that they're doing, but in at home in your everyday lives. All right, so here's just a few pictures of some of the work that we have done in the community. So this first picture is at Concrete Plant Park, and this is a berm that's being installed as part of this larger rain garden. And then here on the bottom, this is also in Concrete Plant Park. We actually installed a green roof on top of a shipping container. So Concrete Plant Park has a shipping container where they hold different activities and art events. And they wanted us to, install a green roof to cool the container and also serve as a learning tool for their programming there at the park. And then here in the top middle, this is another partner at the Point that we work with, and we're working on the rain gardens there. And then we're also here on Hunts Point Avenue, maintaining the medians along, Hunts Point Avenue. And last but not least, we are here at McInnes, restoring, doing wetland restoration. And this is part of the Wedge Waterfront Alliance certified projects here. So yeah, that's some of what we do, some of the fun that we have. So in addition to projects that take place during the cohort, we also have the social enterprise projects that I mentioned to you earlier. So through grants and contracts, our social enterprise provides completers with temporary opportunities to earn while building work experience. And so these different projects and contracts that we get also help to fund additional training for the next group. So some of those projects include tree watering in the Bronx, rain garden maintenance. I don't know if anyone's been along Fordham, the Fordham bid. We maintain the planters there. So if you see any wonderful plants, that's our crew taking care of Fordham bid, as well as green roof installation in Brooklyn and Manhattan. So Intervine, that's our program, our social enterprise, and just sort of how we structure our programming and workforce development specifically in Hort. Intervine has also had the opportunity to now be a part of a coalition that just formed, which is the RAIN Coalition. So that's the Rain Garden Action in Neighborhoods Coalition. And this was a coalition, is a coalition between 4 community-based organizations. So it's us at the Hope Program, the Bronx River Alliance, the Gowanus Canal Conservancy, and Newtown Creek Alliance. So we came together to steward some city-owned green infrastructure in 3 watershed areas. So the 3 watersheds you'll see here on the map are the Bronx River watershed, the Newtown Creek watershed, and the Gowanus Canal watershed. And so all 3 of these areas are areas that needed to be targeted because of the different CSO events that I'll get into here. So I'm sure you all have been talking about CSOs over the course of this conference. And so I won't go into so much what they are, but what you can see here are the CSO stats for these 3 watersheds that the RAIN Coalition focused on. So for Newtown Creek, you have 1.2 billion gallons of CSO per year. On the Gowanus Canal, you have 363 million gallons per year. And then the Bronx River, you have 144 million gallons a year. So these are clearly three areas that need to be focused on. And so that takes us to green infrastructure. So, the city is in regular violation of the Clean Water Act due to these number of CSOs. So in 2011, the city launched their green infrastructure plan to convert almost 8,000 acres to rain gardens, to really capture all of that rainwater and prevent CSOs. So this is a $1.6 billion investment over 18 years, with the goal of diverting or preventing 1.67 billion gallons per year of CSO events. So in addition to what this can do for water quality, these assets also create beautification, increase air quality, shade, cooling, decrease urban heat island effect, decrease flooding, and also serve as an educational opportunity for residents in the area, as well as increasing habitat and biodiversity. So all around wins, right? So what we noticed were some challenges, right? So the city has struggled to maintain its new GI assets along sidewalks and in parks and other spaces. We also found that many underperform in terms of water retention and blight communities with overgrown weeds and litter. So, for instance, the controller report found that 66% of the sample rain gardens exhibited two or more conditions that DEP states can impede their proper functioning. So this could be sediment buildup, compacted or depleted soil, weeds and overgrown plants, missing plants and trees, and so on. And so we had an opportunity to also link rain garden maintenance with workforce development, as well as an opportunity for education, right? To let people know. I mean, sometimes folks are just like, oh, there's a tree pit here, whatever, right? They may not know really what the city is doing to help decrease these events and decrease flooding. So it proved as also an opportunity for resident education. So what RAIN did was we came together, these three organizations, in great partnership with the DEP to pilot a green infrastructure maintenance pilot in these three watershed communities, so that it can be scaled up to a citywide solution for sustainable long-term green infrastructure contracts and workforce development. So we are in those stages of the pilot, but just wanted to highlight this great work because of all the opportunities that it provides. And so in summary, I just want to say that, I think what we're all learning is that workforce development is really a critical part of a strategic creation of a green economy in New York City. And also that, there are many community-based organizations that have been doing different parts of this work for years now. So this coalition allowed us to really tap into all of that knowledge that already exists. RAIN pulled various community organizations' knowledge and skill sets to maintain these city assets with this plan of scaling up. And then also, I love volunteering. That's, how I got into this work myself. But sometimes I think we focus on volunteering as the key solution. And what we found is that, volunteering alone is not going to get us where we need to be. So in order to really grow the green economy, we need to pay people to do this work. This is technical work, and it's an important investment in New York City infrastructure, which you can see the DEP has realized and has made this investment. So, yeah, this is also a great job creation opportunity. And last but not least, due to the co-benefits of this type of work, it could have an exponential impact on the city. So between job creation, water capture, water quality impacts, combating urban heat island effect, and creation of green spaces, this model is just a great opportunity for the city. So